YouTube's taking forever to hook up. Oh, here we go. Hold on. It's rolling now. We're almost there.
Stay away from my wings, bro.
All right, YouTube's rolling. Give me a second here. Let it fill in. All right, dude. We're ready to roll.
All right. Beer reviews, the beer news, with, of course, an arrogant twist. And as always, let's start what we're sipping on. JJ, would you like to start us off?
Yeah, I'll start off. I'm stepping out of my comfort zone a little bit. I had one of these a while ago, but I'm doing the Connecticut Valley spiked iced tea. Did you ever see one of these, Faraz?
No.
They do these smoothies. They're kind of like, it's a smoothie.
Yeah.
So it's a Connecticut Valley smoothie. This one's a spiked iced tea with lemonade, 5% alcohol. Must be kept cold. One of those, you have to keep it cold. Might become a missile in your car or something,
All right, hold on. Let me a missile.
I would just like to say that I am also a big fan of these. They're delicious.
Yeah, it doesn't have a head like a beer at all. It pours like a loosely carbonated.
Yeah. So like I was saying earlier, they're gluten free, so they must be brewed like a seltzer, right?
I guess.
They are qualified. They qualify themselves as a malt beer. It comes in at 5% ABV, only 100 check-ins, but it's a 413. And yeah, they're gluten-free because they add the alcohol afterwards, like in seltzer. So they brew the tea, and obviously that's pretty much all they're doing since they're calling it a malt beverage. So they brew the tea, it's got the flavoring there, then they meld it with a spike seltzer.
I gotta tell you, it's fantastic. It's much better than Twisted Tea. It's much better than any other tea I've had on the market.
There's no weird aftertaste with it, like you get with I think Twisted Tea has a weird aftertaste to me anyway.
That's great.
It's good. I always put a shot of Tito's in it.
Of course, there you go.
Never boosted up a little bit.
Yeah, I put it over ice.
5% out of here. I'm interested to see. Ironically, I'm wearing the Collective Arts. They are launching a line of spiked teas, so I am interested to see what those are going to be tasting like, and I will find out tomorrow when I get to sample them. Perks of the trade. Trevor, what are you sipping on?
Well, I decided to try the latest, one of the latest things we've gotten in the store. It's a Drecker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm drinking the Synaptic Cleft double IPA.
Synaptic Cleft. All right, let's see here. Synaptic Cleft is a big, soft double IPA built on a huge base of oats and wheat and hopped with Otaka, whatever, Mutiri, Citra, and Belma. Ooh, a Belma hop. I haven't seen that one in a hot minute. For some massive citrus, stone fruit, and berry flavors, with just the right amount of bitterness to perfectly balance it all out. Just over 1,300 check-ins, you are at 416.
Yeah, that's good. How is it?
I like it. It's got a really, really thick body to it. It's got a really nice mouthfeel. Enjoying it.
So if this was another brand, they wouldn't have called it an IPA. They would have called it an oat IPA because they literally say huge base of oats and wheat.
Yeah.
Which also does have one drawback, is that if that thing gets old, all that settles at the bottom. And you get clear and sludge. Clear, sludge, clear, sludge, clear, sludge. All right. Let's see. I am going to try the Escape from Reality from our friends at 3-3's Brewing. This is an all-American dipper featuring Amarillo, Mosaic, and Simcoe hops. Aromas of ripe orange peel and citrus lead to a light, pillowy mouthfeel with bright flavors of ripe orange, mango, and hints of grapefruit. just under 1,700 check-ins, and you're at a 393.
All pretty solid ratings, every one of them.
No, I like it. Oh, the smell is excellent. Yeah, man. He really just makes a nice beer. And he really just does. I do taste all your citrus, your orange peel, that almost like a pithy note. And it's definitely pillowy. And that has a little bite back because, of course, it's still an 8% double. Yeah, I enjoy this beer. Yes, I do.
Hey, by the way, if you're out there watching on YouTube or Facebook, drop a like, subscribe, do all the nonsense. You know what I'm talking about.
Smash that subscribe button, son. Smash that subscribe button.
Smash that like button.
Exactly. And have diamond strong hands for AMC. I mean, no, wrong podcast.
Amen, brother. Gamma's Queen's coming.
So let's look at what's in the beer news. And yay, something good for us craft people. Despite the dollar growth, share gains continue to elude AB. Aww. While Anheuser-Busch finished the year up almost 9% in growth, it finished down 2%.
What?
It lost. Ooh. What are the 3 brands that were down? The top downers.
Say that again.
Trevor, which brands of ABs were its 3 top that would actually drag it down? So think about how big of a brand it would have to be to drag down.
All right, Facebook is rolling. YouTube's taking a little bit. Sorry, guys. Let's just get rolling on. I would say the brands that are dragging. I would think Bud and Bud Light are dragging.
1 and 2.
I would think Busch Light might be their only growth brand. Sub premium would be growth. Land Shark's probably down. Shock Top's down. I don't know. Fill in the rest.
So he's got 1 and 2 with Bud Light and Bud. Trevor, what's 3?
What would be down? I don't know. Like,
think the opposite.
Is Bud Light Lime in there? I don't know. Like,
think of the opposite of your store. What would be down?
The opposite of our store. No idea.
Natty.
Oh, yeah. Really?
Mm-hmm. Really? Natty's down almost 0.5%. Bud Light, which has lost 1.5%,
which is a huge number for them because
Bud
Light is a beast.
Yeah, so Bud Light's down 1.5%. Bud is down 0.5%, and Natty is down 0.3%. Its 2 top growth brands. Funny you mentioned it. Michelob Ultra, and of course Bud Light Seltzer.
Yeah.
Whatever. AB now holds 38% share of off-premise beer. So with that 2% loss, it's still 38% of all the beer.
Yeah.
And it is a healthy number 1 over its number 2 competitor, Molson Coors, which comes in a hair under 18%. But what that does mean is, thank you, people. Craft beer. We're just trying to, come on, get in there, get in.
Like,
exactly. Come on.
Big Ultra is a beast, though. It is up, and there's no question that I think that's their I can see that being their number 1 growth brand. But Busch Light has to be number 3.
Didn't list it.
Yeah.
It listed, let's see here real quick.
makes you think? What makes you think Busch Light is growing?
Oh, because of the you betcha guy.
I knew that's what you were going to say.
It
But
is.
you're right. You're probably right. Like they definitely understand that, I'm sure. And I never really understood if that guy is actually paid by them or I'd
That,
imagine
that guy's getting paid somehow.
he's definitely. He tries to make it look like he's like independent from them and just like this dude, this comedian, but I think he's probably on there pretty well.
Yeah, he's getting paid.
So, funny enough, you mentioned those. Indeed, while massive brands for AB, like Busch Light and Stella, both grew in dollars by double digits in 2020, Stella was down 0.01%. Wow, of course. And Busch Light only gained 0.04%. So, while they are their money makers now, it's probably because they have to pay marketing campaigns, which Stella's all over the place. And, excuse me, and yeah, that shows. But those benefits do not, love it, do not make up for the drags of Bud Light, and Bud and Natty. Oh,
You got to
sad.
you got to admit, Faraz and Trevor, that Stella drinking Stella is more of an image thing than anything else because the beer is just a freaking lager. It's like a domestic lager. It's nothing special. So it's about the image. It's about about drinking out of the chalice or whatever it would be. But it's not about the liquid, right?
No, it's not even made in Europe anymore.
Right.
Like, what was it? We did this episode like 3 weeks ago. They're like, oh yeah, it's not even brewed in Europe anymore. I mean, no, just no. I'm an old man. Get off my lawn. I guess I'm not an old man because I'm not drinking Stella, Bud Light, and fucking Natty. All right. I mean, if Natty's down, is that because college kids aren't allowed to go back to college because of COVID?
That may be it. That may be it.
That could be a reason why, honestly.
That'd be kind of funny. Even as funny as your cat moving your camera.
They used to do with Natty. All the draft business they used to do with Natty. I mean, pallets and pallets and pallets of kegs, and they don't have that anymore. They just don't have it.
Have they even? Or no, it wasn't. It wasn't Natty. What was the damn brand that everybody went crazy that they stopped producing during the pandemic? Was it Keystone? Was it Natty? What was it? It was Keystone,
Light.
right?
Well, Keystone Light was one of them too. There's been a few. The pandemic's been terrible for a lot of breweries.
That it definitely has.
Yep.
So here's an interesting thing. IPAs are tracked on Drizzly. IPA is the largest and one of the fastest growing style segments in craft. It is no surprise it is making major headways in Drizzly. The IPA category accounted for 19% the share of business sales on Drizzly. That made it the second highest selling category after
domestic. Oh, seltzers.
Seltzers. Come on, domestic. Wait, those dudes are coming for a fucking $12 case. They are not paying Drizzly the extra $4 to get it sent to them. Ugh. And the company said that it's up over 3% from previous year. Of course, little of anything is growing faster than hazy IPAs, which were up 760% over the previous year.
Yeah, but Faraz, how much did Drizzly really carry? You know, when you go, listen, I appreciate the number. I think it's great. But when you go from selling 10 cases of hazy IPA to selling 70 cases of hazy IPA, you get that number. You know what I'm saying?
This is true. You're 100% right, but there is other data. The Imperial and Double IPA subcategory was up 446%. And now here's the question. Here's their makes you. Oh, and here's the funny thing: the number one seller is, of course, like you said, the hazy. What are the top selling SKUs? Let's just give me a couple of IPAs on Drizzly.
I'm gonna say New Belgium Voodoo Ranger might be one of the IPAs.
It is number 5.
Sierra Nevada, maybe.
Number 2, hazy little thing, right?
Yeah.
All day.
Founders
All day. I'm sorry, Sierra Nevada number 3, all day number 2,
Bell's Two Hearted.
number 4.
Number 1, huh?
Oh, we always forget it. It always makes us look dumb because it doesn't sell for us in our area. But it's
Oscar Blues, Dale's Pale Ale.
that's what I thought, but no, it's Lagunitas IPA.
Oh, Lagunitas.
Actually, I mean, I would say it sells for us in this area.
Yeah, it does decent.
Okay.
I don't think. I think All Day is a beast around here, though, for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason, God, I don't like it, but yeah, for some reason that beer is very popular.
So before I get to actually the interesting part of that segment, which is what are the bottom 5 in the top 10, which are really interesting, it is time for me to keep drinking because I'm starting to sober up. How about we got a little Aslan and the Hop Butcher, Karate in the Garage. Dippa dry hopped with citrus, Nelson Sauvignon, Strata, and Motica. Just under 1,700 check-ins and a 414.
Trevor, how's that potato starch on those wings?
It's not potato. It's
Oh yeah, cornstarch.
I think I used too much cornstarch, but I mean, they're crispy. They're crispy wings.
Oh.
But I think it was a little too much. I didn't put enough spices in there too, so it's I probably could use some more salt and maybe some garlic powder. But yeah, they're good.
Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's cornstarch and Doritos. People dust the Doritos.
Oh, dude, really?
How do you think I make fried chicken, you children? Yeah, I make it with either one of two ways. If I want to make it hot, I get them hot ass Cheetos.
I don't know why I cook anything. I don't know why I cook anything without asking you first, because you have the best ideas.
Because I'm a fat man. Do you think? Do I look like I've missed a meal? I was single till I was 35. I have eaten everything as good as you possibly could. Are you kidding me? I would cut up my chicken breast and make it all nice and clean and then throw it in my mac and cheese with hot sauce. Yeah, of course. Because why would I have anything that's good for me?
Wow, dude, you got me. Wow. Okay. Anyway, beer.
Yeah. It looks nice. It's pretty. It's got a good nose. Okay. Doesn't do it for me. It's a little thinner than I maybe expected, especially when you're calling yourself an Imperial New England. It's a little sweet for my liking. I still love you, Aslan, more than anything in the world, so I'm going to blame this Hop Butcher, guys. Sorry. No, I'm kidding. Whatever. Now, back to in Drizzly's.
Hold on. I'm going to open.
Hold on. What you got?
So one of my favorite beers years ago, when it came out, I just absolutely loved it. It was one of the West Coasts that I really appreciated when they came out. And they just released it in a 16-ounce can. And Fudge, you may laugh at me for this. I don't know. But Flying Fish Exit 16. I used to love this beer.
All right. Flying Fish. Exit 16 double IPA. This double IPA was designed to showcase 6 different hops we added. Lots and lots of them. They then dry hop this double IPA with even more generous additions of Chinook and Citra to create a nose that hints at tangerine, mango, papaya, and pine. This pairs extremely well with spicy foods and all kinds of seafood. And of course, it's quite enjoyable just by itself.
Yeah, it's a classic West Coast style. I love it. 8.2%. They used to use, they got away from it. It might be a new recipe because I don't remember it being as tropical. Remember it being a little more piney. They had wild rice. They used like 5% wild rice in the malt bill, which I thought was pretty cool. And it was really light colored. It didn't have that dark malt look to it.
Sure.
I think they probably eliminated that, which I'm disappointed in. But it's good. It's good.
Trevor,
What's
have you
the
cracked
ABV
another
on
one?
that one?
8.2.
36,000 check-ins and a 376. Not a surprise for that big of check-ins and for an older style.
Sure.
Respectable.
100%. If you're over 20,000 check-ins and you're still over 3.25, 3.75, yeah, 100%. Because eventually people just be like, "Oh, this tastes like something I've had before." Well, no shit, Sherlock. That's why there's so many check-ins on it. Everybody's had it before. You're not Magellan, player. All right. Back to Drizzly. Here's the really funny thing. After number 5, which let's once again recap, kids, was New Belgium Voodoo Ranger. This is in all of Drizzly, which tells me that Drizzly is a Northeast product. The next selling SKU is Lawson's Sip of Sunshine. Okay. Next one is Elysium's Space Dust. That makes sense. AB. Makes
Sure.
sense. Lord Hobo Boom Sauce. Okay. Cigar City High Life. Thank you. And of course, Goose Island IPA.
That's a price play.
Yeah, probably. Here's the interesting thing. They now have another category that they call the New England and Hazy category. I don't understand. I mean, I guess. So if you separate it out, obviously your top 2 are going to be Hazy Little Thing and Sip of Sunshine. What the hell is Mighty Squirrel Cloud Candy?
I've never heard of it.
All right, let's well, we have these little things called computers. Let's look up Cloud Candy by Mighty Squirrel Brewing.
Might be something to look into for us.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. You have 23,000 check-ins. You are from Waltham, Massachusetts, and you are a 4.02.
How many check-ins?
Okay. 23,000.
That's a lot.
Yeah, well, I mean, it better be. Drizzly's number 4 selling beer. Like,
wow.
Our friends at Sloop Juice Bomb is the number 4, and New Belgium Juicy Haze number 5. Yeah, New Belgium is a monster. There's just no stopping that brand, especially now that they have the money that they have. There will be.
I will say that Juicy Haze is very tasty. I mean, it's good.
Listen, it is a war to the price pointing of a shelf stable New England, which is almost oxymoronical. But you have those brands. You have Heretics, Make America Juicy Again, which I think honestly, fresh is amazing. Like, just get off its lawn for its price. Again, for its price point. Trevor, do you have a second beer?
Not yet. I started drinking early because maybe I can talk about my first beer I had, because we got started late.
Sure.
So I cracked open this local boy here, the Round Guys Liquid Swords Tangerine.
Ooh, I mean, Liquid Swords. Come on.
I mean, just for the name and the label alone is pretty cool. But if you know, you know. But yeah.
An Imperial IPA with soursop, tangerine puree. You're looking at a whopping 368 check-ins at 3.8%. But the graphics tight. When did Round Guys figure out how to make a goddamn can? Is it tangerine? Was it tangerine?
Oh, it was very. It was actually a little on the tart side for me. Like I wanted a little more sweetness in this beer because it's 9 point something percent, which I thought would be a little sweeter.
9.6, and it hit all of it.
Yeah, I mean, I felt it, but I also hadn't eaten before I drank it. But I liked it. It was just very tart, very tart. Yeah, I definitely got the tangerine because it was a very tart tangerine. But I enjoyed it. I just not a beer I could drink a bunch of, obviously, in a row. But it was good. It was good.
That's my problem. I session 9% beers and never turned.
Yeah. See, I know not to do that. I've learned myself.
If you really did session 9% beers, you'd be drinking like I do on this podcast. So don't forget that shit, man. As Trevor likes to say, it's one thing to be drunk when you come on. It's another thing to watch Fraz slowly fall into it. And I always appreciate that.
Is that what I said?
I don't think it's a fall. I think it's more of a stumble, but So back on the topic of New Belgium, is New Belgium the new leader in craft beer? So with the start of 2021, an early IRI data has shown that New Belgium is up 45% in dollars and 57% on off-premise. What?
Yeah. I mean, I can attest to that. They're rocking, man. They're doing well. I mean, they have a lot of money behind them now, and I don't, I say what you want. I mean, I don't think many people think that New Belgium is owned by a big brewery, but they are. Is it Kieran or what is it? Yeah, it's Kieran.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive.
But their roots are still pure, man. Trevor and I were on that conference call last week, and I got to tell you, man, we had a Zoom call with the guy who manages the wood room, the basically the sour room where they have the shooters and the barrels and
Barrel Master. His title is Barrel Master.
Barrel Master, whatever it is.
That's a fucking awesome title. Don't be like that. That's like saying, shit, I'm in the House of Lords. My title is Baron. And you're like, yeah, that dude. No, my title is Baron. His name was Barrel Master.
His name was Ted. And he was really into the sours. And I tell you what, their sours to me had none of the medicinal Band-Aid, none of the diaper, none of those off flavors that I freaking hate about wild ale sours. They know when to pull them. They know when to bottle them. They know when they're not right. They know when they're right. Would you say the same thing, Trevor?
Yeah, I'd also say that. Yeah, nothing was overpowering in those beers. Like the one I had was, I think it was the Felix is the apple apple whiskey barrel one, or the Oscar.
Felix was the apple whiskey.
Yeah, that's the one I had, and it wasn't overpowering with the whiskey, which sometimes it can be in beers like that. It's very subtle, but it was there, and it was definitely interesting, and it was great talking to those guys because they're, they may be owned by AB, but they were, it seems like they really have their own thing going on. They're not.
They're owned by Kieran.
Kieran, not AB.
Sorry.
It's not as bad. It's not as bad. No, it's not. It's absolutely not. No, hold on a minute. The reason and the only reason that we're not, on this podcast, pro Molson Coors or whatever the hell they change their name to, I always forget. And AB is because they put legislation to minimize craft. If they didn't and they just wanted to play fair, well, hey man, you're the big dog on the block. Let's, eventually I'm gonna, get my weight up and try to see if I can fight the big dog. But I can't fight the big dog if you change the rules of the game constantly around me. Play fair. Watch what happens. Craft for life.
But if you're big dog, man, you protect your own. It ain't no different than the hedgies protecting their stuff in Wall Street.
Exactly. Exactly. So craft beer is Wall Street bets. Trust me, there's way too many douchebags. All right. You know what the funny thing is the guy who has Sunday beer and also Third Moon, right? Shit, I should remember this. He was one of the barrel masters at New Belgium. He has his degree in chemistry, went there, and was one of the assistant barrel guys and liked it, but then said, okay, now it's time for me to do my own thing, and came and moved back to Brooklyn and started his own brewery. And he always said the same thing. He's like, no, 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 no. And he said, it's like the Goose Island people. It's like when you get to the barrels, they didn't fuck with us. They just left us alone. And it's like, okay.
I will say, man, like the guy who started New Belgium sour program, he was the brewmaster and the cellar guy at Rodenbach. So,
okay. Well, Jesus Christ. I mean, come on.
You don't get much better than that.
I'm sorry, because the cellar master at Fontaine or Boom or
right.
Cantillon was like, well, I need to stay as a fucking monk, so I can't leave.
right. So he comes over and he works for New Belgium. He gets their sour program started, and it's been awesome.
I agree. All right, so while we're on New Belgium, let's just keep going. They are up 45% in dollars. They're up 57% in sales. And of course, what's their number one beer that's pushing all of this? Voodoo Ranger Imperial IPA. That brand is up 73% over the previous year already. That's scorching for like a established brand. I mean, Voodoo Ranger IPA has been around for what, 5 years?
3, 4. It might be 5.
I had it in my store.
Did you?
So that's Did
you have the Imperial?
Yeah.
We've had it since I worked at the store, and that's been at least since 2016. So
yeah, 5 years then. 5 years.
It's got to be fun.
I will tell you, it's a price play too, Fraz. I mean, when you can buy a case of 9% IPA, that's pretty rock solid. I mean, you're getting a good beer for like $35. I mean,
I'll take it. 100%. What am I going to do? Be like, I could pay this $35 for this 4-pack, or
I could wait in line at the other half for a $25 4-pack and waste about $20 in gas getting there. But
but you look, there are other brands. Voodoo Ranger is up 11%. Juicy Haze is up 131%. Their rotating series. That weird ass shit where they just constantly make the Ranger in like different outfits.
Yeah, higher.
I always want to like take those and put them side by side and taste them, because I swear to God they're like the same beer every time. But
I don't know, man. I was sitting at Bar Louie last night and I was having that rotator series, and it was really freaking good.
What's the latest? The Captain, whatever. I don't know. They all taste very similar to me. But there's a lot of beers you can say that about. So
you know what it reminds me of? Do you remember? So the Voodoo Ranger guy is a great marketing tool. Honestly, it reminds me of the old Camel Joe. Remember Camel Joe?
Yeah.
It's kind of like they're playing on that type of marketing. I don't know.
Yeah, you ever see like the animated cartoons they do of that guy? They're kind of creepy. How cool. Yeah.
I'm still wondering how a skeleton with a fur bomber hat is like a tumorous camel.
Listen, it's a different segment. I get it, but it's kind of like the same play. It's a good play. That was good for Camel at the time. Now they're in cigarettes though. They're killing people, so it's different. It's.
I think right there I have to do the Jules Winfield on you. No, that's not the same sport. Same league. It's not the same league. It's not even the same fucking sport.
All right. Move
Move it on. I know. It's okay. Listen here. So I am now on Daydreams Are Necessary. This is a beautifully sexy Imperial New England from Timber Ales and Fidens Brewing Company, or Feedens. I'm sorry. I've never heard of you. That's on me, not on you. Daydreams Are Necessary is a DIPA brewed in collaboration with our friends from whatever that is, brewery. This DIPA has been dry hopped with Citra and Mosaic hops. So you are what we like to call basic. You have I am getting a rare one, kids. 557 check-ins. And you are a 436. This better be sexy. It better be sexy. You smell right. Come on, baby. Oh, ooh. It's a little green, but yeah. Wow. You are what I like. Oh, yeah. If you are one of those citric mosaic guys, which every one of us are.
Yeah.
And man, let me tell you. So I don't know if I can show this well enough, but light doesn't shine through a Timber Ales beer. The first Timber Ales beer I ever drank, I drank in literal darkness, watching the TV, and I only had the light of the TV. And I'm just pouring it into my glass. I don't think anything of it. And I start to drink like this, and I look at it real quick, and I'm like, this is straight up like orange juice. I just stop saying light, like I'm a Valley girl. I get my phone out, I shine, and it does not shine through. Every one of their IPAs is like that, and thank you. Because that's what a New England's supposed to be like, and they're wonderful, and I love you.
Yeah, I'm moving on to Burlington.
Ooh.
Burlington Reflected Symmetry. It's an ancient grain IPA. I'm not sure what that means. You're going to look it up right now. 6%. And so I don't even know what ancient grain means. I mean, I'm assuming it's obviously they're using grains that were used back in the Egyptian times or whatever.
Let me save you, my friend. Reflected Symmetry is our ancient grained IPA, brewed with spelt malt. Spelt is the precursor wheat to wheat and has been cultivated since 5000 BC. It creates a full body and a nutty flavor to the malt backbone, hopped with Idaho 7, Mosaic, and Australian grown Enigma. Oh, it's Idaho 7 and Enigma? You better be good. You better be effing good. To provide flavors and aromas of ripe apricot, grapefruit zest, resiny pine, raspberry, and red currant, you have just under 6,800 check-ins and a 3.92. It should be better than that. How is it?
It's very silky. The mouthfeel is extremely silky. It's great. I don't get pine. I do get some fruity notes like the raspberry, and I get the tropical fruity notes, but I don't get the pininess.
No bite on the back end.
No, well, I just had the exit 16, so it's hard, it's hard.
Don't ever go from a double to a single. Come on, Playboy. Come on, Playboy. Trevor, what are we sipping on?
I just cracked open, and I apologize. I don't know. JJ may have had this on the show before, but it's the Hitchhiker Triple Thick.
Oh, the Triple Thick. Yep.
Yeah, it's because he was raving about it, and another guy at the store was raving about it, so I figured I'd check it out. And it's definitely thick. Holy moly, it's got some body behind it.
We're still looking at about 640 check-ins. You're 4.09. So what's brewed with crystal malts, dark malts, and milk sugar, conditioned on cacao nibs and vanilla. So you're a stout. Okay. and so it's not an IPA for them. And Trevor,
It's good. What is the ABV on this?
9%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
It
be
hides
late.
it that well.
Yeah, it's there's like a weird taste in there that I can't put my finger on though.
Okay, so you're saying it's not the milk sugar, and it's not the chocolate or the vanilla. Are you getting that vanilla? Is it like an extracty?
Maybe it's the milk sugar that's like different because I'm not used to a milk sugar being in in a stout, so that could be what it is.
Okay.
I mean, overall, it's decent. Like it's very sweet, very sweet. Uh, got a lot of body, like I said, but yeah, definitely couldn't drink more than one of these. But it's good for the most part. Hides the alcohol very well, that's for sure.
Gene from Tired Hands would love that beer.
Yeah, he probably would. Whatever.
Lactose, dude, he loves lactose.
Of course, bro.
He sure does. I like his milk. I'm not. Yeah,
They were just rated one of the best breweries in the country. All right. Like, of course,
I know a lot of people like to shit on them and everything, but I do enjoy their beers. I enjoy the food at the fermenteria. I've never been to the cafe, so I can't speak on that, but I do enjoy the place and the beers. So
first, open the damn firm. Second,
yeah,
rate
just open it.
beer.
Let me come in and sit down and drink a beer and eat some food. Please.
Second, rate beer, dude. Rate beer. Don't ever. That's owned by AB. That's owned by AB. That's just cheat code central.
Yeah.
That's up, down, left, right, select, start if you had a friend. That's cheat code. That is not real.
I couldn't believe he did that. I couldn't believe that.
Of course he did. Of course he did. Everybody does. Listen, if I get an award tomorrow on Joe Schmo's website, I'm gonna post that like it was a goddamn doctorate. Like, see that shit? See that shit? Whatever. Yeah, you take wins where you can take wins, especially in a market now that every PA brewery that's worth a damn is doing home delivery. Second, you're making the same beers constantly, so you're not even changing what you're doing. So people have had most of these. Third, you got to stay relevant, man. You got to stay ahead of the lawsuits.
So in shipping, they have that Dudley, right? Dudley shipping. And Levante has what is theirs called? Levante?
Mercury.
So I was up at the shipping. We ship throughout the state. Nothing. It's not a lot of beer. It's here and there we're shipping beer. But I happened to be up at that shipping place when they first started. Dudley and Mercury when both of them first started, and I couldn't believe the amount of boxes. It was crazy. The last few times I've been up there, I think shipping is becoming burdensome and more expensive, and that might be something to talk about in a future episode. You know what I mean? Is that sustainable?
Shipping is expensive. If you want a 4-pack, like you have to, there's always a minimum, and then there's like the shipping costs. It's, I don't know, as far as personally for me, not worth it, but.
Right.
4 stouts. 4. And there are many, what does he say? There are many amendments, but my favorite is the 5th. Like 4 stouts from other half. Not even 22s and 25s. How much did it cost to ship from Brooklyn to here?
4 stouts, single bottles. Is it 22-ounce bottles?
16.9s is the biggest one.
16.9s. 4 bottles, including the cost of the beer. I mean, it's got to be $80.
Trevor, he's close. He's not that far off.
how much to ship that much?
Or
East
total.
Coast?
What do you want to call it? You want to call it total, or you want to call it just the shipping?
Shipping? Probably. I've found that shipping is you're paying almost as much as you're paying for the beer just to ship it. So, I mean, I don't know. Probably $30 or $40 to freaking ship some things. Like,
It was the exact same amount. Good call, Trevor. It was $45 for the beer and $45 to ship.
it's crazy.
Yeah, $90 for 4 bottles.
Yep.
It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable.
I don't
Is
know,
that
bro.
why-
I've been doing it for a
that's
hot
why-
minute.
Is that why, though, a place like Tavor ships stuff? Like, you have
Yeah.
to build a crate and ship it. So it's like, it makes it more sustainable that way because
Well, that's not the only reason. There's legislation you can only do so many bottles or so many cans per month, and they want to build the crate to hit that, to make shipping economical. It's a combination of things.
Back in the day, I used to whatever. I used to get beer from California, shipped to me legally. I would ship it in, and they were the same way though. It was you had to pay something between $40 to $60 shipping, unless you hit $150 on your 12 bottles. That wasn't that hard for me, but I sometimes didn't want to spend $150.
Right.
It's always the
Real quick funny story here. So recently, a lot of wholesalers have been reaching out to me, and they're saying, why is this beer shipping? Why are they shipping beer into the state from out of state? How can they do this? Blah blah blah. And I said, well, this all passed in January of 2017. It was the 6-pack and singles. It was in the bill, right? Well, the reason that it got passed is because Chuck McElhenney from Bucks County, who headed the liquor committee in the Senate, or it was a senator, how I forget. He headed the liquor committee, Law and Justice in the Senate, I believe. Anyway, he wanted to boost his untapped numbers. That's why it got in there.
No.
I'm telling you, I know for a fact. He's now retired and doesn't work in our government anymore.
So the reason that I no longer have the most beautiful beer store on the planet that was sexy AF, bitches, is because some dude wanted to make his untapped. I feel like Scarlett O'Hara and goddamn Gone with the Wind. The vapors got me. Jesus. I can't even. I mean, I'm going to need a.
How shit gets done, man.
No. Just no. I mean, I've drank 3 double IPAs in 45 minutes, but I mean, it's just like, okay. No. It's the same
Yeah. I probably shouldn't have told that story on here, but
whatever. Who cares? Hearsay. Allegedly. Disclaimer. Allegedly.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
I eat crayons like an ape.
Crayons. All righty, kids. Well, that's all the news I have. So, Trevor, please tell us more about your wings, or what you paired with your wings, or what you have paired recently that you enjoyed.
Well, with these, all I did was make wings because that's all I had in the house. But I definitely think I put too much cornstarch on them. But other than that, they were good. I'm trying to think of what else I've had recently. Yeah, I don't know. I think what I'm due for is a good freaking burger. So if you guys know any place to get a good freaking burger, let me know.
I just got the Roadhouse burger from Union and Finch.
Oh, dude, Union and Finch does a great burger. And a great beer selection. They're great.
100%. A place that I, of course, was old school. Oh, man, please. The fact that they took the skeeviest dive bar that I lived next to, and I was the only person who used to get a reserved table. Now, again, it's because of my roommate who lived there for 10 years before I did, went there every Sunday to watch NFL football games and would always bring like 10 of his friends. So we would get that corner table right before where the kitchen was. And till we left 10 years, 15 years later, still there was a reserved table, reserved little tabletop right on there, like, mm-mm. And everyone would be like, well, can I get reservations? They're like, no, that says reserved. And they're like, you're not those people. It's like, yeah, we live next door. We would use that place like it was our kitchen sometimes because we were just dudes. And now they've made it into this beautiful, wonderful, nice restaurant. It's always hilarious to me. But yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah,
The burgers.
the Union Fish does a great job in a lot of things. Always great service. Always a great beer selection. Great burgers. It's a decent joint. It's kind of like one of those places you don't want to, let out of the bag. You don't want it to get too crowded because it's a small place, but it's good.
My last order, they went, it's going to be an hour for takeout. Is that okay? Yes. Wait, what? Is it? Yeah, I get it. Thought it was going to be 45 minutes. You attacked 15. Okay. I'll play a video game then while I'm waiting. No worries. JJ, what about yourself? Have you eaten anything or drank anything?
So I recently got a gift from a gentleman out in Pittsburgh that I helped get distribution on a product, and it was an Omaha Steaks gift. It was awesome. I get this box in the mail. It's got sirloins. It's got petite filet mignons and chicken in it. It's freaking great. So the other night, Tracy's telling me, this girl at work, she's telling me about an air fryer recipe for steak. 7 minutes, season it, 7 minutes aside at 400 in an air fryer. It's perfect. So I'm thinking to myself, I don't know about this. I'm cast iron. I'm cast iron with everything in the kitchen, right? So I do it's a thin steak. So I'm 2 minutes aside on the cast iron and 7 minutes in an air fryer. How good can this be, right?
That's 14 minutes. 14 minutes is a long time for a steak.
It is a long time. It's too long. I'm thinking there's no way that this thing is better.
It's going to take a lot of ketchup to make that steak taste good.
Absolutely wrong, dude. It turned out very well. I couldn't believe how well it turned out. Now, it wasn't as rare as I like it, but it was tender as hell. And it might have been because it's Omaha Steaks and it was a good cut. You know what I mean? I don't know about that, but I liked it. I like the cast iron better because I can control the inside a little better. You know what I mean? I want that.
Dude, cooking in a cast iron or over a fire is just sexier than cooking in an air fryer. 100%. It's always going to be that way. So,
but I just need the damn iron. I want I cook steak on the on the oven, and yeah, I'm olive oil, butter, and or sometimes I use basting oil, whatever, because I like the garlic and stuff. Little paprika, little garlic, whatever. And 100%, I made steaks last night. You got 5. I don't turn it up to 11. 5 minutes. 7, 3 minutes on each side, 3.5 minutes on each side. Let it rest for 7 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And let me eat that and I don't care if it moves. I like it. It's sexy.
I agree, man. I love a rare steak, and I that's why I don't like cooking it for people, because I could cook it for you, Faraz, and I could cook it for Trevor, but I couldn't. I have a hard time cooking it here because if it's bleeding or if it's red, it's it's not happening. So I don't like doing it.
I've always said joke.
They're just not woke to a good steak, JJ.
Okay, so that's funny. So there's the two jokes. So first, I understand it's not blood. It's literally water.
Yeah. I know.
Okay, just in case somebody says, "Oh, it's not." I've always said, because I'm an idiot when I go to places, when I order a rare steak, I say, listen, if it moves when the fork and knife hit it, I'll tip you extra.
Yeah.
Second, in France, there is a level below rare. They call it, they call it blur, which we only have in Pittsburgh, black and blue, and they call it blur. It's blue,
Yeah.
and it's the best. It's pan seared, and I just want the iron because I think if I had the iron, I could really do like a 3 to 5 minute steak and just be like.
Yeah, the problem is in a home kitchen, you just don't have the equipment to get that 1,000 degrees or whatever you need to flash it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I remember my cousin as a little kid, they had ordered steak tartare and she went to the bathroom. And of course, sorry, this is in France. So this is one of those things where sometimes in France, the bathroom is close or in the kitchen. Like you got to make a left when you walk into the kitchen. And she looks and she sees a dude, my hand to God, has a steak in his hand and he has a Bic lighter. And he's going like this. And she thought that was the steak tartare. I was like, listen, I don't know what this dude's doing other than maybe making fake flames like on the sides of the shit, like he baked it. I don't know. But that's not steak.
I would assume that steak tartare, I don't know how they make their steak tartare. I've had it multiple times. The best way I've had it is with a balsamic reduction, some capers and onions. It's just beautiful.
Yeah. It's raw.
Oh, it's awesome. But I would assume, being that bacteria can only grow on the surface of beef, that they take a slim portion of the surface off every side, then they shave it. I would imagine. I don't know.
That is what they are supposed to do. You're supposed to take a steak knife or a paring knife and slice the top layer off, cut that into small pieces or mince it, then serve it how you like. Yes, with the balsamic.
Don't ask me because maybe I'm saying this wrong, Faraz. You can help me, but one of my favorite things to eat is kibbeh na'i, which is like raw beef, ground up with pita and mixed with like wheat or something, I think. But that's so freaking delicious. That's good.
There is some sort of, I don't know, 5,000-year rivalry between Arabs and Persians. We won't get into that. Just called me an Arab. That's okay. It's 2021. We're all woke. But I think on that bombshell, kids, we should all raise a glass. I'm gonna finish mine. Cheers. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Arrogance and Ales. Thank you so much for watching and listening. And cheers.